God, well, hi everyone. How are we doing today? Okay, I decided because I just filmed videos for my second channel. By the way, if you guys have not looked at my second channel, I really, peace and love, I think that you're missing out, okay? I just filmed some good content for my second channel and I was like, you know what? I'm already sitting here. I'm already at my desk. I'm already here. So like, honestly, why not just keep filming and talk more with you guys? So hi everyone, my name is Isabella and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, okay, we are going to be talking about Brittany Dawn's new alleged GRIFT. So I've covered Brittany Dawn many a times, and you guys know on this channel, we cover scams, unethical companies, creators, and so much more. And if you guys don't know who Brittany Dawn is, I recommend you checking out several videos that I have linked in the description below, because Brittany Dawn is an alleged scammer, okay? She was an individual who sold a bunch of bullshit courses, health and wellness courses, in my opinion, scammed a bunch of people. The state of Texas sued her. They were able to come to a settlement, like an agreement, and then that was that. It was a really fascinating case, and a lot of people after were wondering, what was Brittany gonna do when it comes to like businesses? Was she gonna start? What is she allowed to make? Like, what is gonna actually be happening? And that's what we're covering today, because Brittany Dawn does in fact have a clothing brand now, and lots of people have lots of thoughts, including me. So before I hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below. My merch, second channel, podcast, and so much more is down in the description below if you guys want to hang out with me a lot more, because yeah, like I do so much more over there, y'all. And if you want to hang out with me, and yeah, we can get into it over there. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. So originally there was a lot of speculation that there was going to be a company that was created by Brittany Dawn. And if you guys don't know, there was actually, let me do a quick recap on some of the aftermath, because there's actually been a decent amount that Brittany Dawn has done ever since her entire case with the state of Texas. So essentially Brittany Dawn kind of started falling into the oh so typical thing of I'm the victim, feel bad for me. And so she did a shit ton of like podcast episodes. She had an entire pattern, or like I think it's like, I like to call it a pity party tour, where she kind of went on to talking on different podcasts, including her own, about a lot of things she experienced during the entire trial, the build up for it, just all of it. And it was a nightmare. Okay. So there was many things that she would talk about, like she was harassed, she was like just followed, stalked, that kind of stuff, which by the way, we never fuck down. Let's get that out. Okay. We never condone the harassing, crazy bullshit. What? Right. But on other aspects, there was many things that she would discuss that, sorry, she had coming to her. People not trusting her, for example, people thinking other things that she was going to do was a grift. And by the way, many other practices, not just the fitness stuff, was essential to build up to people having an unsettling feeling about her, and for her having a bad reputation. So she's kind of kept going on with this whole like, God made me better, la 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 la. And I personally don't feel like there was enough accountability for the longest time. And I just knew, I was like, I know she's going to get into some kind of like business. I know she's going to start something else. And this is kind of leading into pregnancy and everything. So real quickly, huge ass trigger warning: pregnancy, loss, miscarriage, etc. Okay, but we're going to talk about it because this is what she shared. So Brittany Dawn has been very open about her loss, and that's devastating. Like I can't even imagine. There's many people that experience miscarriages and so much more, like struggling with infertility, all of that. And it's just awful. I never would wish that on anyone, but she has talked about that a lot. And with that, a lot of people had kind of like mixed feelings. Some people thought that she was kind of like overly talking about it, or like trying to profit off of it, and like not stop after a certain point. There was other people who had a perspective that she kind of took it too far, like naming her miscarriage, I believe. And so like, again, I'm going to be honest, other people kind of make their comments, but I have not experienced that. I don't know what people, I don't know what's the proper way to deal with that. I'm always going to suggest a therapist. I don't know if that's like too much. I have no idea. I don't personally think that's something I need to comment on. And I'm not gonna, because I am not equipped with, I think, a proper understanding. Another fact I forgot to tell you guys, again, recap, she is a foster mom, apparently. They have foster children, but a lot of people, again, had a severe issue with the exploitation of children, with her overly sharing stories about like families of the foster kids, sharing too much of the foster children. Like, again, foster kids should not be a prop for your content, that kind of stuff. And that was a big issue we also saw. So there's many factors that are kind of connecting to apparently the development of this brand, kind of like what people had a like perspective of when it comes to her conversations and miscarriages, etc. And so with that though, she kind of has utilized this to create a brand, and that's where we're here at today. So let's get into one of the first original posts that was made by Hazel and Lane, which is the name of this company. Now, actually, fun fact, Brittany Dawn has blocked me on Instagram, but this account has not had me blocked. And you know what? I actually think I've spoke that into existence. She's probably going to block my ass on this one too. This is the first post she made on Hazel and Lane. My heart behind Hazel and Lane. Wow, I can't believe it's finally here. I'm the owner, Brittany Dawn. I am a wife, a foster mom, and the mother of 2 babies in heaven. In September 2022, after a year of trying to conceive and 1 chemical pregnancy, I saw that positive pregnancy test. The emotions I felt were unforgettable. It was as if the world stopped in its tracks. I was going to be a mom. We had the sonogram, saw the heartbeat, and we shared the news with our closest loved ones. What I didn't know was that heartache was on the horizon. In the midst of nearing my 2nd trimester, my world came crashing down. October of 2022. I lost our baby to miscarriage. The moments following were some of the darkest yet most vivid memories of my life. Everything felt like a blur, and yet it didn't. All I knew to do was continue to seek the Lord in the midst of grieving. Though we never knew the gender, I felt the Lord gently whisper to me, "Your baby girl is safe with me." I wept because I knew I had heard from the Lord. Thus came forth the name Hazel Grace, the name we had chosen for what should have been our. If I learned one thing through the highs and lows of my life, is that God can birth beautiful things from our deepest heartbreaks. 3 days after my miscarriage, the Lord gave me a vision. In that vision was what you are seeing here right now. Hazel is our little girl's name, and Lane is what we would have named a little boy. Hazel and Lane was birthed in the middle of heartbreak, and if there's one thing I've learned in the midst of life, is that the Lord has a way of redeeming that which was sent out to harm us, that he can take the very thing the enemy intended for bad and turn it around for our good. Hazel and Lane is tangible proof of just that. Until our time comes to live out a full-term pregnancy, my heart is to pour into this brand and watch it slowly come to life, beginning with women's clothing and in the upcoming weeks adding in children's clothing. I'm grateful for each and every one of you and couldn't do this without your support. I'm gonna be honest, this is something I really like. Just from the first bit of this is a woman who is running to religion and not running to a therapist. And there are some people that need to realize that you need therapy. You need help. Like, if you have access to it, which I know damn well she has the money for it now, you need to seek help. Like, I don't think that is healthy to start one. My thing is, why are we starting a business now when we already had like just a like recent shit show with your previous one? That is like the stupidest thing to do for work-wise. Like, I just don't comprehend how you have a bad business and then you jump into the new one. Like, to me, I think it's that's actually reminding me of a video I just made that was about Marlena Stell, and she made the Makeup Geek Academy instead of like Makeup Geek the brand that's shutting down. Like, it's a nightmare. We covered that in a previous video, but I think that's a really big problem I see some people do, is they shut down something and they just jump into something immediately without like actually learning and taking some time. And I don't even think for the reputation of a brand that's smart. So that's kind of odd. And also, like, I think we need a therapist and not another business. And a lot of people I've been seeing commenting about Hazel Lane, about how, like, why is she starting another business again? This has got to be another grift. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't blame them at all. For example, she is freed. The retreats sound like a complete, mind you, okay, it's a religious retreat she has. Then we had the fitness stuff. Okay, that's kind of done. Now we're doing this. Like, this is super weird to me, and I just don't feel like this is smart. Okay, so let me look through some other posts that they have. So if we scroll through, we're kind of seeing some of the posts that's being made about like some of the clothing, and this is also where some additional controversy is kicked in. So they have the green cropped puffer vest, which is one of them, and just it's kind of like, how do I say this? I'm not being an asshole. Please, I mean, like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to be a dick. I can't say that enough. I'm not trying to be a dick, but like, I feel like with the clothing I'm looking at right now from scrolling, this is something it's very, like, you find this everywhere. I feel like it's kind of like drop ship, you know what I mean? And again, I think like for somebody who should, I don't know, focus on quality over just pushing shit out, you would think that she'd want to not just do that. Like, I don't know that. Also, here's my thought process with this too, just from getting into this. How the do you have the funds to start a business when you have to pay the state back? I must know, how do you feel comfortable? Like, it would eat me up. I have student loans. That kicks, like, I literally I feel violently uncomfortable with those. Like, just because it's there. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfy, right? Like, so I just don't know how you can be comfortable starting a new business, which is another risk. Logically speaking, every business is a risk, and you haven't fully paid back, to my knowledge, the state. What the are you doing? Like, this woman is not business savvy. She also has other things like notebooks, journals, and things like that are more like religious based, which again, like, you do you. Now, according to December 4th, though, they are now releasing clothing for children. So they have this post, again, it's a child. It says, just like that, our little one items are now available. What a dream come true. Then again, keep scrolling. We have like scriptures for anxiety, which, okay, I'm kind of confused on scripture for anxiety. Wouldn't you just read the Bible? I'm not trying to be an ass. You trusted God with your dream. He gave you after your miscarriage, and now you're watching it come to pass as the owner of a woman and children's boutique. Another caption that says, there have been quite a few ugly, happy tears this week. Those little moments where God shows up big. where he turns your ashes into beauty and trades your sorrow for a song. He is in the business of making all things new. October 2022, I went through what was easily the darkest time of my life as we neared our second trimester, unexpectedly lost our baby. We had 2 names picked out for what was to be. The first was Hazel, the second one was Lane. Little did I know what we would come to know both of those names in a way that would seem crushing at the time. I believe in my heart that little Hazel was far too precious to see a day in this broken world. I knew that one day I would see her face to face on the other side of those beautiful gates. Too precious to see a day in this broken world. That's actually, woo, okay. Comment your thoughts, but isn't that kind of unsettling to be like, oh, it must be like too good for this world, but then you still want to bring more kids in the world and they're good enough for the net wet? Like, you see how that kind of sounds a little funky? I don't know. Again, I'm just my thoughts. Our baby items are available and new inventory will be added weekly. We are so incredibly grateful for your support, love, and kind words. This journey has been a redemptive one. And I believe one day our own babies will get to wear clothes like this too. The comments actually, by the way, if you go in to look at the comments, they all have been limited. And I feel like that's happened because people are calling this kind of shit out. Now, here's the one thing I do want to say that I think is kind of making me really uncomfortable. If you have a motivation or something when it comes to a business, like I actually, again, fun fact, literally the reason why I started posting on social media is because I hated myself. Dead ass. My little 16-year-old self, I hated myself. I didn't think I was pretty. And I was like, okay, Bella, you have to force yourself to do something to get yourself out there. And that was that literally was the reason. So that's kind of essentially the story of how this ended up being my job. I became like, I found passions and things that I was like motivated to talk about. I got more confident. That's why, right? But I'm not going to harp on that all the time because I have motivations that are new. I feel like overly going about traumatic experiences is not a very healthy thing when it comes to a business like this and for a clothing brand. You know what I mean? Like if you want to be inspired by something, I think that's absolutely good. But it's just kind of like, I feel like this is going to make people really uncomfortable after a while. Let's look at some of the products that she has on her website. The prices are fucking insane. The puffer jacket is $82.99. Harmony jacket is $82.99. Okay, they're sold out. Nice. By the way, can I just say, you know what? I'm gonna search some of these. I think I actually can find the identical jackets for cheaper on AliExpress or DHgate. Like I'm so serious, and I'm sure I'm finding it and popping it over here for y'all. But like this sounds like, I just feel like you would want to find a more ethically sourced thing if you want to do this in God's image. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna do it well, wouldn't you try and do it to the best of your ability to make sure that it was like ethically done and sourced? So this is where the contradictions are rolling in for me. A midi dress, $48.50, chosen checkered flesh. I need to be put down. Oh my God. Why the did I say that? Wow. I'm so sorry. I made myself nauseous. Chosen checkered fleece jacket for $52.99. Beauty of Becoming knit sweater. What are these names? Blessed is she knit sweater. Like I get it, but like baby, it's a sweater. Like did you pray over it? She honestly might. But renewed sweater dress, rejoice knit sweater. Okay. So there's a bunch of like pretty damn high priced items. Okay. So now let's go into the kids clothing because this is another thing that people had issues with as well. So if you also scroll down, there's journals that are $24, $32. I've seen journals priced like that. So that like, I'm not shitting on that. This is where we get into the kids stuff. Growing in Grace bubble romper, $42. Why in the is a child's romper priced higher or as high as a midi dress? Brittany, what the are you on? Like, actually, that's insane. This next one, Tiny Miracle Bubble Romper, again, $42.99. Why is it priced like that? Another one, Child of God Teddy Romper, $38.50. Now, actually, on Reddit, I cannot confirm this. Let me make this very violently clear. I cannot confirm this. However, it was rumored that one of the models that was a child in this whole campaign was a foster baby, and some people were, again, very upset by that because if that is true, again, I don't have evidence to prove this, but if that is true, that is unethical because it should not be just randomly. I just don't think it's comfortable and okay to share kids like that. You know what I'm like? I also am very adamant about like some people need to not overly utilize their kids on social media. Like, yeah, sorry, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but that also is another controversy. And apparently this child was one, but Child of God Teddy Romper for $38.50. My thing is just like, what is she doing? That's not smart. This is not a smart business because this is not accessible for most moms, which is ironic because like, again, if this was me, this is not, but if this was me, I would want to go and find an ethically sourced brand. And if it's more expensive, at least make it ethically sourced and there's a reason behind it. This doesn't sound like it. So when you do it like this, you look like you're upcharging to hell. It's not really accessible for most people or it's not ethically sourced. So it's like from what I'm aware and alleging. So like pick a struggle. You got to do something that makes makes it better. Because if you're going with this motivation of this is God-based, that this is religious-based, and you want the best for people, you would want to put in your all to make it the best quality, the best, but this is giving lazy shit again. I personally think, just so far from seeing this, that this is something that people in her audience, which is very unfortunate, but some people in her audience are more prone to like her because she's religious, not because of her good habits, which again, I know people who have done that. Like I get the idea, okay? But we need to use our critical thinking skills. Not everyone that's religious is a good person. I think people though are gonna think, oh, religious person, a Christian company, sick, I'm gonna purchase from them. And I think that's where she's gonna try and generate some new form of income. But I don't think the longevity of this is gonna even work at all. This truly looks so lazy, because also this is a website that is done by GoDaddy and is one of the most basic templates ever. You think you could have done something a little bit better? You can. There's Squarespace, there's Wix, there's a billion other places to make a website look good, and you need Shopify, you know, like you could do a lot of stuff, but this looks like a GoDaddy website. This is very, very basic and is really sloppy. Like again, if I saw this kind of format for a small business, like an actual like somebody who doesn't have experience with the small business, doesn't have resources, small business, love that for you. Someone who has resources and is trying to do better, like why would you not wait to make this the best? This looks sloppily done. This does not scream, I put in effort. And again, a lot of these clothes, this other one, it's a $44 crew neck sweater for a child. Do you not know about children, Brittany? Because I don't have them, okay? Not gonna have them for a long time. I like sleeping in. But you think that you would know that kids, like they grow, their kids grow really fast. They do. It's impressive, all right? So they're gonna grow out of that quickly. So you expect people in this economy buy a $45 baby shirt, that's probably not quality that it should be. You know, if you're gonna spend $45 on a sweater, it's gonna be good quality. I highly doubt it. And also, like, so they're gonna grow out of it really quickly, and that's that. That is the stupidest shit I have ever heard in my life. Again, a rainbow baby pocket cardigan, $44. What are we doing? Why is this a thing? This is so ridiculous. Like I actually have such a problem with this. And also it's very, like if we could just see from the messiness and the marketing of it, it's very messy. It's all over the place. Like this looks very lazily done. This looks like drop shipped random stuff. And I'm sorry, this whole concept of I really had this great idea and I'm developing it. It's so ironic to me that the entire lawsuit was harping on getting help and professional help. And you would think if you had two brain cells to rub together, you know what I mean? You would like want to make this next business the best business ever. I'm talking ethically sourced, as best price possible, maybe having charity donations that would pop up when it comes to that you can do if someone purchased from a certain a certain piece of clothing during the time of the month or something, like I don't know, during like a specific time of the month. Maybe you could have it to where there's specific collections that are a little bit more thorough, not like fast shipping, like more catered to, like the website being designed better, more inclusive marketing. Like this is so lacking, and I'm sorry, but to me this is another way for her to get a little extra income. Like I truly think this is a little extra way of her trying to grab a little something. I don't think that this is of any literal substance. Please buy from a small business or someone else, not this shit. This is actually dumb as hell, okay? And one other thing I really was thinking of when it comes to this topic is, how is she allowed to have another business? I know she can't have like a course or like the fitness stuff, but I am amazed that that lawsuit didn't prevent her from having another. What the did I hit? I'm so sorry. My elbow, and I keep bumping into shit, stuff pops up. Anyways, I don't know how she can have a business still like with that loss. How do you do that? How could she make more money with that? Also, is she not a little nervous that like Texas is gonna be monitoring the out of her? My thing is like, is she gonna have issues if it gets big? Pause. Theory. Let's say this blew up, okay? Let's say she posts on TikTok, the Midwestern religious mommies and things like that really hopped on the shit, okay? Let's just say it blew up just like the fitness stuff. What if she, quote, because we see photos of it, looks like she has, you know, inventory and stuff like that in an office. What if she can't keep up with it and it happens again? Like not like fitness course stuff, but what if like people don't get the shipments for weeks and everything? Like what if it happens again? I'm so serious. That sounds so wildly plausible. I just like, that wouldn't surprise me. Oh my God. I feel like she's just really grasping for anything at this point. It's not a smart decision for her to have another business. And so far, this looks like really fucking messy. So what did we learn today, kids? First of all, we know Brittany Dawn has some issues, okay? We don't know if those are really hashed out yet. I think they're not, but all right. Then we have this business she started that really looks like very generic, poorly done. Doesn't look like a lot of effort. Then we look at the pricing, which is insane. shopping and seeing a piece of cloth that will cover a child that is priced the same as a dress for a full-grown woman. Also, one other thing I want to point out, I noticed, is the sizing is not inclusive. And it kind of bothers me because if you're going to do sizing, you should be more inclusive to all body type. That's not inclusive to me, like at all. That is not inclusive enough to just do large and be like, oh, that's it, that's fine. Or just like small, medium. No, we got to like pick it up. If you're going to do a business, if you're going to do it right, stop. Off. Take it seriously and do it right. This is just pissing me off. I also think the marketing tactics of talking a lot about some very triggering topics, I think is very odd for a clothing brand. I think that's a lot, you know what I mean? And overall, with the lots of things that we've seen with Brittany, it wouldn't surprise me if this would go to shit again. There would be an issue. This could turn into an absolute complete bullshit company that I wouldn't support. Either way, I do not trust Brittany in any capacity. So that was it for today's video. What do you guys think about this? Okay. If you have any theories about if this could like go south, what do you think? Let me know. I would love to hear. And I will see you guys in this next video. Bye.